Welcome back, friends, to another Age of Mythology Retold video. In this video, I'm showcasing a match I did against the computer just to kind of warm up before a proper game. And this video isn't going to be so much of a video about the gameplay itself, but more so some beginner tips to make your experience of playing Age of Mythology Retold a lot better. I took I want to say like a year, might have been a little less than that, break from Retold. I had some health issues I was dealing with, and I was kind of getting a little burnt out on it. There's so many different imbalances, and ironically, Magic, I Am Magic, I think that's his handle. He, I think, renounced recently that he's retiring from Age of Mythology Retold and going over to Age of Empires because of some of these imbalances. I feel like they were more prevalent early on when Retold got released. And similarly to Age of Mythology Legacy or Classic, I didn't play that for a long time. It wasn't until, before Retold was even going to come out, I think months before it was about to come out, that I started playing that again. You can go watch some of those older videos of some classic gameplay on the channel, actually, and watch me get coached by the Rapple, a pro Age of Mythology player, which is super fun, and definitely something I want to do again. He's great. I did that because that game was already in such a stable state, right? Sure, there was some imbalances still, but it's been worked over a lot, right? The clay has been molded significantly, and I feel like that's the case with Retold as well. Now, that being said, I think a lot of the not adversity, but the aversion, there we go, to wanting to play in general came from a lack of different inner game, as one might say, or mental infrastructure that was lacking, that I'd like to share with you here. And this is what I've used and developed and learned over the course of returning in the past week or so of playing Retold, that has just allowed me to have such a fucking fun time whether I win or lose. Okay, so here's my little list. I have my phone next to me with my notes. So number one, before we get into the tips, I just want to talk very, very quickly about why I recommend this game, and it might become as a shock to you if you're following me for the Arc Raiders content, let's say, or the Hunt Showdown content. You're like, what the fuck is this? I love RTS. This RTS in specific. I played a little bit of Age of Empires. Wasn't really my thing. I played a bunch of StarCraft. Warcraft 3 was also very fun. The problem with that is just not enough player base. If they remastered, right, or reforged Warcraft 3 and gave it a proper fucking remastering, I think that would be insane. It'd be so good. And not the butchering that Blizzard did, which is just fucking dishonorable and disgusting what they did to that game. A game that just gave them so much money and acted as the foundation to release, other games because of how great the fucking world editor was. It, allowed, what was it? I think Dota to come out of that, or maybe League of Legends. I forget what the fuck the map was, but so many cool things came out of that game. One of the best campaigns, if not the best campaign for a fucking video game, RTS at least, I've ever played. And the latter also is incredibly fun. Super fucking fun. But just not enough players, and I don't want to sit in queue for that long. If I sit in queue for Retold, it's going to take less than a minute, right? For Warcraft, it's going to be so fucking long, and then the player I'm going to get is more than likely going to be really, really, much, much better than me. And that's not really fun either. You don't want to be going up against opponents that are just way outside your weight class. It just doesn't feel fun. So I recommend RTSs because it's like a mental workout. You might see this, and from an observer standpoint, you're like, there's not really a lot happening. Cool, there's some guys, mining over here. I guess some houses are coming up. It seems like not a lot's happening. In reality, I am looking at my build order fucking 50, 60 times. I'm wondering, I'm trying to scout. Let me make this normal. I'm trying to scout. I'm trying to see what the enemy's doing. I'm trying to think about my next move. I'm like, fuck, okay, do I build buildings here? No. I'm trying to go up to the next age. So I'm like, all right, get 800 food. oh, that's too much food now. I should be fucking throwing up an armory here soon. Really late. Very late armory. What am I doing? Come on. Almost 100 food over the amount that I need. Please, notice. Little things like this. There we go. Right? So, like, you're just doing so much. It feels like you're trying to juggle 50 different things. And it's a lot of fun in that way. In that it's a mental workout. It's a game of strategy. It really gets your brain working in ways that I feel like, oh my god, this idling is insane. Thank god this is a practice game. It gets your brain working in ways that I find other games don't really do. Whether you're doing 1v1 or, you know, team games, 2v2 is also a lot of fun. It's just great. And why I recommend Age of Mythology specifically is because you have these god powers. So in a lot of RTSs, you just have the different civilizations or races, right? With Warcraft 3, like undead, human, Age of Empires, whatever, right? Like the French, British, English, StarCraft, right? Zerg, oh my god, Protoss, Terran, Warhammer, the fucking different races there, or factions. But what I don't really see a lot of is god powers, or powers in general. These, like, really devastating or helpful, you know, global abilities, situational abilities. That's just not really interwoven into those games. It's just about, okay, make your army, death ball, send it against the other one, you know, raid. And it also feels a lot slower. You don't have these, like, medevacs coming speedily down here. Like, it's a lot slower paced. And that combined with the different god powers. Age of Mythology Classic or Legacy, the regular campaign with Arcantos, and also, to a large extent, the Titans campaign with his son Castor. Also really great campaigns. The expansion one with Castor, not as great. And the voice acting for Retold is just fucking garbage. There's a mod you can get for the original voice actors, which I highly recommend. The subsequent campaigns are fucking trash. The Chinese one, I haven't played the Japanese one yet, but the Chinese one was so fucking stupid and dumb as fuck that I didn't even finish it. I'm like, this is... I know there's like I don't expect, you know, master level fucking Quentin Tarantino writing, but if you go back and play the original Age of Mythology campaign with Arcantos, pretty good, pretty compelling, you know? Did I like everything? No, but, like, on the whole, I would rate it like, you know, 7.58 out of 10. Pretty good. Chinese campaign, 1, 2. Everything they're saying is stupid. Nothing makes sense. I don't care about any of the characters. It's just fucking dumb. Super dumb. I played the Warhammer campaign recently as well. And, you know, the old one, Dawn of War, whatever it was, 4, 2, or whatever the fuck. And also just really fucking stupid campaign. And then I play, you know, Warcraft 3 campaign. Fucking 10 out of 10. Amazing. You know, super good. So, the original campaign's worth a play as a standalone game. And I don't know. I just find it very, very fun to sharpen my skills and to improve. It's very, very enjoyable. And there's so many different factions. Like, and they all have different minor gods, or excuse me, major gods. So their play style differs, but you could still play the same civilization, but just have a different play style to it. And each major god has their own different god power. Like, it's just so much great variety. Different myth units, that's another thing that's fucking awesome that I haven't really seen in other games. So just so many good things to love about this game. Okay, now getting into the tips. How to improve your mentality, your mindset as a player, to be immune to being tilted, to getting upset. So number 1, understand you're never going to play perfectly. You're never going to play perfectly. There's always going to be mistakes. You're never going to have a perfect game. It's not about having a perfect game. It's not about perfectly executing your build order and everything else to the T. It's about taking your, you know, shopping cart with 3 functional wheels and a fucking, you know, broken wheel if you've ever been shopping at the grocery store. I'm sure you've encountered this phenomenon where there's a fucked up wheel on your shopping cart, and you're having to, like, put this effort in to force this thing that's trying to go left to go straight. That's kind of what playing this game is like. And coming into it knowing that, okay, I'm going to give it my best. I'm always doing my best. Because why wouldn't you be, right? Even when you're playing at your worst, you're sleep deprived, you're having an off day, whatever, you're still giving it your best effort. Why would you not want to give anything but your best? You're always going to give your best because that's what you can give. That's what you're able to give. That's like your maximum effort. And even if you're only giving 30% of, let's say, 100% on your best day that you're able to give, that 30% is actually 100% of what you're able to give. All right, so you can't play a perfect game. You're just trying to try to get the shopping cart to keep going forward despite all the mistakes, all the friction, all the resistance. All right? Next tip. Having a build order is a must. All right? Is a must. You have to have the foundation of like, what should I be doing? And you can easily do that, by the way, by going to Deities of Death. Just putting that in to the Google search bar, Deities of Death, Age of Mythology Retold, build orders. And then looking up your god. This would be another tip. Focus on one god. Get good at one god. Different civilizations are going to have different playstyles. I encourage you just to pick one that feels fun, one that looks fun. Also, research Boit and the Rappel actually just uploaded one as well yesterday. They both have tier lists of the top gods. So pick a high-ranking god within the faction civilization that... what the fuck are they called in this game? Is it Civilization? I think. Pick a god that is a powerful, the most powerful god within that civilization. Now, at a lower level, this is probably not going to matter so much because there's so many mistakes being made. So you could, technically say that you could just pick whatever god you want. Having fun is your first priority, of course. But why not pick one that's strong, right? Why not pick one that's competitive? That's my game plan, at least. I want to try to get as good as I possibly can. So, if you start with a strong god, you're good. But the thing is, practicing within one civilization, even if you go play a different god like Ra, or for Egyptian, take it. If I play Ra or play Set, yes, there's fundamentally different things I'm going to need to be focusing on. But at least by maining one god and then switching over to a different god in that civilization, which I also encourage you to do, you are going to know what units counter what units, right? Like, you'll know when to make Axeman or Spearman. You'll know how to do the raids, the different timings for when to use the different god powers. Like, you'll be very well educated. It's a great on me, denying this town center. Awesome job, Dante. So I encourage you to get the build orders. So go to that website, Deities of Death. Pick a build order. Practice land build orders till you get really comfortable with that. Then maybe practice water, and you can just, when you're playing online, just leave a water match if you get one. Requeue, fight a land match, or practice the water build order as well. You could kind of do both, or just practice one until you get it down. You can kind of do it without thinking, then you can switch over to doing water, and so on and so forth. Now, when you get the build order, there's a great application that they have on the website that allows you to throw up an overlay of what build order to use. I've mentioned this in previous video, but I'll just say it again because it's so important. So right here, for example, where this white window is that I'm holding up for you, you could then put the build order of like what you need to do next right here. And you'll need another application for this called Top Window, or Window Top, which basically forces an application to remain open no matter what you have open here. So it'll allow that overlay to just kind of stick because it doesn't do that by itself. You need like both applications open to do this. And it's very simple. I'm not super, techie as a person, and I was able to figure it out very, very quickly. So it's not that hard to do. So you can take these build orders, upload them manually into the overlay program, and then have Window Top activated. You can just do a really simple hotkey when you open up the overlay to keep it on your window. I know that was a lot, but trust me, it's very, very simple and easy to do. Next, watch pro matches. When you are playing a god, go watch Boit, go watch Rappel, go watch how the fuck do I say it? Husk. Oh my god, I'm fucking butchering this. Go watch the pro players, okay? Look up your god and look at how they play them. Look at the sort of things they do. Look how they counter certain things. Examine what they do well, what they do wrong. This will give you some good ideas and help strengthen your game. Next, this is like maybe the biggest one besides build orders. Watch your replays, okay? I encourage you to do one match to warm up against the computer, practicing your build order, and then one match against a real player. And then on the real player match, so the first game against the computer is just to warm up and to practice your build order. Right? Even if you played every single day this past week, if you wake up today and you don't do that practice match and you go right into a player, fighting against a player, I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of mistakes being made that would just not be made if you were just to play a practice match and just relight those different brain neurons on, those mental muscles, warm them up. It makes a huge difference. So once you're warmed up with the practice match, play against a player, and then watch that replay. You will be fucking shocked, okay? Fucking shocked at what your replays will reveal to you. The last episode 4 of the War Room, I fought against my first Japanese opponent. I thought Japanese were OP as fuck. I watched the replay and I realized there was a huge timing window that I missed. I did it was okay, subpar actually. Ancestors Eclipse. I idled his economy. I think I might have got like a kill or two on the villagers. He was very quick to put them, garrison them. But I just did not attack. I had no follow up. And I wasted my timing. I wasted my fast heroic advantage. And I did not know that even happened. I did not know that was even happening. I just thought the Japanese were OP. But after watching the replay, that glaring mistake was made very, very apparent to me. And I was like, cool, I know what to do now. I need to throw down some barracks close to his base. Have, obelisks around his base so I can see what the fuck is going on. Have an army training and ready to advance as I click down the Ancestors Eclipse with my Sphinx attacking, minions attacking, fucking up his economy, and then coming in with my army. A siege works, have a siege tower or two coming in to break down the guard towers, put pressure on his villagers, and just fucking destroy him. Like, that's what I need to do. Instead of having this huge gap of time where no military pressure is coming along, and I'm throwing away my advantage, he's, getting up farther and farther in villagers, stabilizing, maybe grabbing a second town center. Hopefully I'm denying that. So, there's so many things that became apparent because I watched my replays. Huge. Gotta be watching your replays. And if you just do one practice match, one match against player, and then watch the replay. Very simple, very easy to do. Next. After you practice your build order against the computer and players enough, challenge yourself to try to do your practice match against the computer and remember the build order without looking at it with the overlay or on your phone or, tabbing out, tabbing in, which is much less efficient ways of doing that, by the way. I did it for a while. Much easier to have the overlay. I was even looking up where the fuck are the overlays. There's got to be an overlay because this is just so painstaking trying to look at this on my phone or tab out and tab back in. And lo and behold, it does exist, as I shared with you. So try to challenge yourself to look at your build, to remember your build order, and to execute it without looking at the overlay or looking at your phone or tabbing out. See if you can do it. If I remember right now, it's like, okay, cool. Step 1, send the first 3 laborers that I have for Egyptian, gather 8 wood, bring it back to base, then send them to build a granary, and start hunting herdables or hunting, animals, and then have the 4th villager that comes out builds a monument next to the huntables, preferably also touching the gold mine. Have the pharaoh empower the granary and the monument back and forth. And then once I have that 4 initial on food, the next 5 villagers build a mining camp. Get a by the way, I need to pre-queue Flood of the Nile on my granary, and also immediately get pre-queue pickaxe once I get my mining camp down. Be sending my priests around to be putting obelisks near the enemy's base, and also scout out where the different relics are, if at all possible. And then I need to get up, once I'm at 5 on gold, I need to get up to 7 on food. Once I'm at enough gold to throw down a temple, take 3 off of gold, put them onto the temple, near my gold mine preferably. Then put 2 back on the gold, 1 goes around building houses. I don't know if that's that specific part of taking 1 off gold to build houses. I don't know if that's the right way or if I should be using a food villager to do that. I have no idea. If somebody in the comments wants to let me know, would greatly appreciate that if you understand how to play Egyptian better than I. So he's building houses. I'm force dropping the food to then age up through Bast. So that's not the whole build order. That's like half of the first initial build order. There's like another few slides of what to do while advancing and what to do after advancing. And I could actually tell you that too as well. But I've just been practicing looking at the build order so much, doing the build order so much, that it's now kind of in my brain, in my head. So challenge yourself to do that. And maybe even just do what I just did, right? Can you just say the build order to yourself? Maybe while you're doing dishes or you know, taking a walk or somewhere. Just try to go through your head with like how to do the build order as a way to get down the build order so you know exactly what to do while you're playing, as another bonus tip. And lastly, something I call transformative thinking. I have a coaching business that I'm trying to get up to a much more respectable annual amount. And something that I'll do with my clients is called transformative thinking. And basically what you do is you take a negative statement and you gradually work it over until it becomes a positive statement. So I'll give you an example of this. Regarding Age of Mythology specifically. But you can apply this to anything, by the way. So it's not just the Age of Mythology tool. You can carry it with you for the rest of your life around any topic. So I could say, all right, I won't use Age of Mythology because I feel really good about this. Like, these tips I've just given you have made it so I'm really excited to play Age of Mythology, so it wouldn't actually work as a great example. Let me pick something that actually would function as a great example, and then just apply this to Age of Mythology. So, I am feeling a little tired today. I've already upload an episode. I got to edit another episode to upload to the channel. I'm uploading this, so that's like 3 videos in one day. Feeling a little burnt out. I didn't get great sleep. So I'm just feeling burnt out, and I'm just kind of like, I don't really want to keep doing this, but I also want to do this. So there's like split energy there, right? So now what's another way of saying this that feels better? You know, this is going to take a second to upload, and in that time, I can just take a little break, maybe watch a funny video, maybe get a little snack, some broccoli, fucking couple green grapes, sounds great, take a sip of my delicious Topo Chico here, sit next to me, and just relax, take a break. What's the rush? I already got 2 fucking awesome videos uploaded, and that's awesome. Fucking A. I'm going to be able to play some more Arc Raiders with a buddy of mine later. That's going to be a lot of fun. Girlfriend's coming home soon. That's going to be cool. It's all good. This is great content. I don't need to put pressure on myself. Let's do another one. Just give it some more examples. What's something else that I kind of is like, I'm in a pretty good mood despite the physical stuff, so maybe I should wait and then come back when I feel like shit, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to really do that. What's another topic? Okay, my dad, right? I'm not talking to my dad. He's fucking narcissist, terrible person. And I feel maybe like a little guilty, right? We're going a little deep here, right? Have a little mini therapy session, but I just want to show the power of this tool. It's so good. So if I were to put in a statement how I feel about my relationship with my dad, right? So I feel resentful, but also a little like guilty because I'm like, man, you know, he's just getting older and older, and it sucks. I'm not able to like talk to him, and we don't have a great relationship because like he's gonna die one day, and it would suck if like it takes him reaching his deathbed to realize what a fucking asshole he's been, and then us to have some type of repair there. And it just feels, I don't know, what is it, like dejected, a little depressing, a little sad, I guess. It's kind of a bummer, a little disappointing. So how can we bring that to a better feeling place? Well, I don't need a relationship with my dad to be happy. Focusing on the lack of a great relationship is just kind of like mental torture. I'm just like waterboarding myself mentally. Like, why would I choose to focus on that? Why not choose to focus on the fact that I separated myself from such a narcissistic person who had like no empathy for me and was like very, very emotionally abusive during times in my life when I was like, you know, one of those times I was like very sick and almost dying. And he was like super fucking mean to me. And it was not cool. And he's, you know, abused me in childhood and like kicked me at times and you know, called me things like deadbeat. And just had kind of a bunch of different abusive family members in general. So I'm happy to be away from somebody like that. I'm really glad that I don't have a relationship with somebody who just does not give a shit about how I'm doing, how I feel, and the impact of their behavior and decisions on my life, you know? And I love the fact that I am respecting myself enough to get away from a person like that. And that I saw the harm and damage, and that I chose to kind of step away. And that I'm not choosing to let someone like that have a relationship with me, nor do they deserve to have a relationship with me. Let's keep building on top of that. Here we go. Here's another good one. The fact that I still care about him and would like to have a good relationship with him is such a great indicator on the quality of person that I am, how empathetic, compassionate I am, and what a great person I am. Because I'm like, you know what? If you got your shit together, you know, therapy, coaching, whatever the fuck you need, and stepped up as a parent and as like a human being and became a better person, I would be like, cool. You know what? Water under the bridge, bro. Like, all good. But the fact his behavior hasn't really ever changed to allow that, I'm respecting myself. And does it suck to not have a cool relationship with my dad? Sure. Is that the end of the world? No. Do I have so many awesome things going right in my life? You know, great place I'm living in, awesome girlfriend, awesome games, YouTube channel, streaming, health is better now, doing lots of fun stuff, living in a new state, right? Florida. It's fucking pretty here. There's alligators, which is awesome. Fucking little dinosaurs running around. It's cool. And I you know, even if he was here and I did have a healthy relationship, it would just be like a nice phone call from time to time. Like, that's ultimately what I'm missing out on. Like, a nice phone call from time to time. Maybe you know, a visit once a year. It's not the end of the world. So look at that. Brought it to a place of being like, you know what? I'm kind of okay with the fact that that's not here. It's not that really big a deal. It'd be nice to have, but, you know, whatever. Lots of cool shit's happening anyway. So, a couple different examples to illustrate how to take our thinking and mold it into a better feeling direction. So you can use this with Age of Mythology. And I did this earlier in the week when I had some losses. I was just feeling really bummed out. Like, man, I feel so fucking overwhelmed. And, like, I'm not making enough progress, and people are better than me, and I'm not learning things quick enough, and it just feels like so many things are happening at once, and I just suck at everything. Right? I was just really beating myself up with my own thinking. And I just used the same process. I was like, you know what? I did do these things right? I was rating really good there. Why do I need to have it? Why do I need to be good right now? Why do I need to have all this stuff mastered right now? Why can't I just enjoy the journey? Here's another one that's you can use as well. And I forgot to add it to the tips. Every time you lose, your MMR is lowering. So the next person you're going to go against, it's going to be a better opponent. You're going to be able to win, or have a much easier time at least. You know, another one. I'm never going to do any of this right. Or not right, excuse me. I'm never going to do any of this perfectly. Right? Never going to do it perfectly. I'm always forgetting something, right? Something's idling. Forget to build something. Do something too slow. Like, we're human. It's not about how... We're not AI robots. Like, we can't perfectly execute these things without zero fucking fail. It's about how many things can you manage. And you know what? Hey, if I never get to a pro fucking level of execution for this game, like, my life is going to be okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be fine. Maybe that's my trauma talking. Maybe you can relate with that. Of, like, just being extra too hard on myself because I had a fucking, you know, narcissistic-ass parent. But, yeah, that's the kind of, like, talk I got to, like, work myself through so I can feel better about things. I also have borderline personality disorder, so that doesn't probably help with all that. Anyway, so I don't have to be a perfect fucking player. I just want to have a good time with this. So how can we think about things and play in a way which allows us to have a great time whilst improving and just learning? And taking those statements, here's another one, right? Maybe a statement about playing against Japanese. I don't know what counters Japanese. That's not true, because I kind of went over that in the previous episode, so that's not good anyway. I feel like this is enough sufficient examples to help you figure this out on your own. So, oh my god, it's idling. Terrible. So, take the statement, take how you're feeling about, you know, Age of Mythology, about your last match, whatever, put it into a statement, and then challenge yourself to find better feeling statements. And if you need to, list out a few different statements about how you're feeling first, just to kind of get it out of your system, and then focus on, okay, how can we feel better about this topic? How do I put that into a statement? What feels slightly better to say, to think about? Choose slightly better feeling thoughts and keep doing it until you're like, you know what? Fuck yeah, I feel pretty good about this topic. And then while you're there and you want some extra credit, pick another topic or two to also do. Once you got the feel-good energy flowing, why not visit a couple other different topics? Maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a past experience, maybe it's a past trauma, maybe it's, fucking finances, maybe it's your ex-girlfriend, girl cheated on you, I don't know. Pick another topic and do the exact same thing. Take it from a negative place and bring it to a positive place. This is what I do with my clients. They pay me thousands of dollars to do this with them. It's really awesome. I do it on a daily basis myself. It's fucking incredible. It's done a lot for me in my life, and I hope this, in tandem with all the other tips and mindset shifts and tweaks I've shared with you in this video, allow you to have a much better time playing Age of Mythology Retold. And drop a comment if any of this resonated with you, or if you apply it, come back, drop a comment. I'd love to hear how this ends up working out for you. And yeah, go have some fun. Go enjoy this game because it's fucking awesome. And we have the Aztec Civilization coming out with the expansion pass. Make sure to get that. That comes out in like 3 weeks. So we have a whole nother fucking civilization to look forward to coming out. New god powers, new myth units, new mechanics. It's going to be sick. All right. Thanks for watching. Love you. Smash the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And I will see you in the next video.